I start chatting with Claude, they would help me out with a roadmap as well. But when I start having a workflow, being a non-technical person or semi-technical person, I can start on a very faster pace, but sooner I would hit a tree.
Furqan Aziz is the founder and CEO of InvoZone, a global software engineering company that helps startups, scale-ups, and enterprises build world-class digital products. Over the past decade, he has worked with more than 1,200 businesses worldwide, helping them scale through technology, engineering, and AI. Furqan is focused on helping organizations transition into AI-first companies while building high-performing engineering teams and scalable businesses.
We are going to wipe out humans' jobs and eventually AI would take over everything. But in last 6 months, things have been changed and in a very opposite direction.
We are seeing that AI is improving day by day. So the business that is operating today, how it will look like after 5 years in the age of AI?
If any problem comes to your table, the very first thing that you try should be
Thank you so much, Furqan, for joining me. And you are welcome into our podcast.
Thank you, Awais, for having me today.
Furqan, basically, when I talk to my customers or business owners, uh, they are basically in constant fear of missing out that they are already behind on AI. What do you think that it is true or this perception is bigger than the reality?
Somehow, I believe fear of missing out regarding adoption of AI is quite realistic to some extent. There are some misconceptions as well. We will talk about that in a little bit. For example, if I wake up in the morning and start scrolling my social media on LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook or something like that, whatever platform I use, or even if I go to Reddit or Stack Overflow or Medium.com and I start reading some forums and articles, I start getting an kind of a concept or a situation where Chinese models are coming and are trying to compete with frontier labs like Anthropics and OpenAI, Kimi and so on and so forth. So that is giving me an impression that probably AI is growing on a very fast pace. And then I start looking at the use case and case studies on the same platforms that probably company A started doing this with the help of AI and while they're replacing human beings and so on and so forth. So even if I don't want, would start thinking about if I am the one who is behind in this race. If I'm the only person who is not trying to achieve, kind of adopt AI agents or automations or the platforms that may help my business in a way that increasing revenue, increasing efficiency, decreasing manual efforts, decreasing the cost somehow, because these are major four factors: decreasing cost, decreasing manual effort, increasing efficiency, increasing revenue. These are four major factors for every human being when they're running a business. So can I do something about my business? Can I adopt a tool? Can I adopt an agent? But the problem is I don't know much about which model is better for what specific use case. What tools are there out there in the market for my business? And I'm very, very, very much lost because I want to adopt something because everyone is doing it.
Exactly.
And I don't know the tools at all. And if I know the tools, probably I'm smart enough and I start chatting with Claude. Start chatting with ChatGPT. They would help me out with a roadmap as well. But when I start looking into, for example, ChatGPT told me to go to N8N and start having a workflow. Being a non-technical person or semi-technical person, I can start on a very faster pace, but sooner I would hit a tree.
Exactly.
Right. So that's the situation majorly.
Exactly. And you are right that when I talk to business owners, they are basically, they are basically adopting AI because of fear of missing out. And most of the time, they don't have the basis of actual real business problem. They are just adopting it with the fear.
Because others are doing it.
Exactly.
Others are doing it.
Uh, so my next question is basically, uh, the AI companies like OpenAI and Anthropic are releasing the new models as you described.
Right.
So, what do you think that these companies intentionally or unintentionally created this FOMO or this type of urgency, and how?
They had played a major role in establishing this fear, by the way, because these Frontier Labs and their CEOs, Dario and Sam, both been pushing this statement in many public kind of appearances that we are going to replace humans in in so many jobs. Specifically, they've been talking about skilled workers, knowledge skilled workers. Knowledge skilled workers mean I have a knowledge and I use that knowledge with a skill. For example, a software engineer, a doctor, a surgeon. A surgeon has a knowledge about surgery and then skills, and then he performs some surgery. Similarly, a software engineer having a programming knowledge and then typing, coding, and then eventually producing something. So they've been after these knowledge skilled workers always, and they've been saying that we are going to kill them, their jobs, and we are going to replace them with the AI agents or probably Codex, Claude Code, and similar tools being coming into the market, and then designers, Stitch from Google, Claude Design from Claude, and so on and so forth. And even for artists, Stable Diffusion, Imagine Art, and other tools started. Nano Banana from Google started coming in the market as well. So they've been publishing this statement over and over again, and they hammered it in the community and in our brains that we are going to wipe out humans' jobs and eventually AI would take over everything. But in last 6 months, things have been changed very kind of in a very opposite direction. As soon as these two companies started looking for IPO, I don't know, because now they need money from public, they started saying very different statement. Or maybe they realized in a really realistic manner that it's not possible any further. They can push to some extent, but probably large language models, which is the revolution right now in this era, is not capable enough to replace human being, because human has five senses, emotions, kind of brain to maybe like thought process and so on and so forth, the decision making skill, and other areas that we can connect to as a dots. So given that situation, gut feelings as well, so and so forth. So given that situation, they started maybe realizing, but I personally believe this IPO, when they started saying that AI cannot replace humans, and we would see humans and AI working together in a complementary fashion and trying to achieve more than before.
Exactly. All right. So, as you described, that these companies are basically changing the statements. If we remove all the marketing hype
Right.
that these companies are doing, what do you think? Where is AI is best at this moment right now, and where it doesn't seem fit, and we need still the human involvement?
I personally believe there are two areas. Number one, AI is primarily good enough to do the work that junior staff been doing. But now another comparison, it probably we would do this in later in this podcast, where the cost comparison. If a junior engineer, a junior designer being, being paid $100 or $200, whatever. So would AI be costing less than that drastically? So primarily AI is helping us doing the laborious work on a faster pace, probably on a lower cost as well. That's a debate. Plus, it is equipping a human being. For example, if I've been producing 5 documents previously in a day, now I can produce 25 documents, 30 documents in a day. So my efficiency is increased. My typing effort, typing hassle is reduced. So that all that laborious work is handed off to the AI, and AI is smart enough to digest and understand my requirements through a prompt, my context through a RAG database probably, and by connecting to my email, Slack, and others through connectors, MCP servers or whatnot. So we are trying to connect the dots, but still, if I am producing a document from Claude Code and ChatGPT, I cannot send this over to my client right away. I still need a human who is skilled enough, who is knowledgeable enough to review this and identify the loopholes or the areas which are not directly associated or connected, or is not, kind of adding up somehow to the whole story, whole picture. And we all know that in every document, every piece of information produced by AI, a human intervention is needed. So AI is not good at giving something that is production ready. Either it is software, it is a document, it is a picture, it is an art or whatever. We still need a human. So probably AI is good at doing the laborious work, equipping us and speeding us, giving us efficiency, but is not ready enough to take over the whole world.
Okay, so basically, what I understand is that AI uh, isn't here to basically like to give us the 100% quality,
Right.
but it can increase the efficiency, the performance of the skilled worker, that when it is basically doing the work of one employee, for example, now he or she can work like
4x,
10 times.
5x.
Exactly.
Not 10x, I would say, but 5x, I can say that.
All right. So, my next question is that most US companies hire from India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, or in subcontinent regions, the like exceptional engineers. Uh, but at the same time, when they basically are building the AI complex solutions, they are costing them too much as compared to the engineer that they are hiring from this region. So, what do you think that what must be the balance between the hiring and adopting AI, or making something like to with the thought pattern of replacing the employees?
You're absolutely right about the cost comparison when it comes to a skilled resource in subcontinent or in Asia specifically. Probably a resource, a very, very skilled and experienced resource in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Egypt, probably, or Philippines would be relatively cheaper or less costlier than an AI agent, or probably an API cost that I would be paying to my chat GPT or Claude, if I have to develop a custom automation or custom kind of workflow. And why is that? Because cost of living in this side of the world is relatively cheaper. And why AI is costlier? Because GPU cost, electricity, RAM, data, because these are major four elements. Number one, GPU we need. Number two, GPU or hardware, I would say. It can be RAM, it can be CPU, it can. Number two is electricity. Number three is practically the data that I need to train my models. And there is a lot of data labeling happening behind the scene. And we all know that probably there would be trillions of gigabytes of data that is in the custody of probably OpenAI and Anthropics. They're trying to use that data to train their models. And number four is the skilled people that are required to train that model, the researchers. So these are major four costs involved in developing, training, and bringing any LLM into the market. And that is where Chinese model came into the picture and started producing cheaper models, right? And that's where they started getting hype. DeepSeek got way higher and way faster hype as compared to any other model, I believe. So by this time, so given that AI models are costlier because of four factors we discussed, and the resources in the Asian region are relatively less costlier because the cost of living, there is a direct comparison of the cost. Of course, our resource sitting in India, Pakistan would be utilizing OpenAI and Claude Code, but maybe a cheaper version of it. $20 monthly subscription would be enough for him. But if I would automate everything, probably $200 subscription is also not good, not enough. So if I pay $20 to Claude Code, plus I pay $80 or $100 to a resource sitting in India, Pakistan for a specific job, let's say. And as compared to that, if I'm paying $1,000, $1,000 to an AI agent, a tool, then the comparison not relevant enough.
Exactly. And we discussed that we still need human involvement to basically
Yeah,
do the job.
in the another day.
And we are investing $1,000 on AI agent,
Yep.
on which we have to basically deploy human as well.
Absolutely. So there is a use case with me as well. There was a tool called Artisan. It's a very good AI BDR tools, business development representative tool. And their claim is to, I'm not marketing them. I'm just trying to explain a use case because I'm sure some of our audience probably tried that or may try that in future. It's an amazing tool, but idea behind the scene is it creates an AI agent on your behalf, and this AI agent would behave like a sales representative in your organization, just replacing a human. So idea behind the scene is this AI agent would capture and digest the whole knowledge about your product, service, case studies, portfolios, past customers, past clients, questions and answers frequently asked by your prospects, and so on and so forth. And this BDR would start reaching out to your prospects based on the whole information. First, you have to train this model based on your data. 10 things we just talked about. Idea behind the scene is you can pay them $2,500 per agent per month, but this agent needs a human intervention. Someone has to come in, tell this AI agent that what we sell, how we sell, who are our customers, who are looks alike, what are the frequently asked questions, and imagine if this person who is trying to train this artisan agent is not good enough to on training that agent.
Exactly.
Right. So in the end of the day, those $2,500 would be gone, would be in the dustbin, in the trash bin, right? Because in the end of the day, a agent is not enough. You need a human being who understands how to train, how to give a context, how to provide the skills in markdown format or whatever to that agent so that that agent can behave. And again, it's a loop. We used to talk about reinforced learning, but reinforced learning is no more there. But we probably need to have a looping where we loop in and in finite times before we say that, yeah, our skills, our prompt, our context, our kind of vector database is good enough. Now this agent can handle 90% of the use cases standalone.
Perfect. Perfect. Furkan, my next question is that there is a discussion in the market that we have to become an AI first company. What do you think that what does mean by AI first company?
A first company, I would try to keep it simple. If any problem comes to your table or on your to-do list, the very first thing that you try should be an AI agent or an AI tool. Can be large language model. If the first thing come into the play in any problem statement or any solution is an AI tool, that means you are a AI first company. No matter what. It can be an HR problem, it can be a finance problem, it can be an engineering problem, it can be an IT problem, it can be anything.
It can be sales problem.
It can be a sales problem, it can be a marketing situation as well. If the first thing came into your workflow is AI tool or is an AI agent, that means you are an AI first company. You're trying AI first, and then you're falling back to human beings for the rest of the work. That's the definition of AI, in my opinion, in a very, very simple words.
Like what I understand is that whenever we have to do a job, we first basically we will do that job with AI, and then we will see that if it is not solving by AI, then we will use humans.
Probably AI would solve the problem partially.
Okay.
Not I can't agree to that fact that if AI is unable to solve a problem. I can't say unless it is something that, for example, I need a cup of coffee. So of course that, or maybe I need, you know, so that problem cannot be solved with AI, but something that a human sitting on a computer can solve should be solved first with AI, and it would be solved partially. It depends how good you are with prompting, how good you are with context. Prompt engineering being a skill, but it's something that is in mandatory now for every individual. So if you're good enough at prompting to an AI model, speaking to an AI agent or large language model, you can get the work done in on the maximum capacity, maybe 70, 80, 90%. And if you can equip your AI agent with the MCP connectors, you can even go beyond that as well. But in the end of the day, you have to finish it yourself.
All right, all right. Furkan, we are seeing that AI is improving day by day.
Right.
So, what do you think that how the business that is operating today, how it will look like after 5 years, or how it will be transformed in the age of AI?
I personally believe the AI models are going into a saturation phase right now. Maybe people can disagree with me that AI is getting into a saturation, specifically when it comes to large language models. We first need to understand how large language model works. Technically, large language models are predicting the next word.
Okay.
That's it. And you understand that what I'm talking about. If I ask large language model for a specific knowledge base, for example, if I ask large language model how I can get a better sleep in the night, large language model would go into its space, which is a large multi-dimensional database, and it would start predicting the relevant words for my answer.
Okay.
And one by one. So, and then once the answer is prepared, probably large language model would start reasoning with itself to get me a better answer and so on and so forth. But that is a reasoning, kind of engine and so on and so forth. But in the end of the day, can you imagine a large language model that does not know your full answer as a whole and is predicting just one word at a time? Can it be smart enough to replace a human being?
No.
Can it be smart enough to handle everything end to end? No, it's not possible. So probably large language models are getting into a saturation phase. Uh, they would get slightly better every new release. But now the focus is on connectors, connecting different things, accumulating the database, knowledge base that we offer an organization. I'm sure you probably have seen situations where a customer came to a client came to our way, and they said that we want to automate our sales, our marketing, our blah blah blah. And then when we ask them to give us the knowledge, the database, they're lost. They do not have the database of their existing or past sales or past case studies, past portfolios. And if someone does, they have to take a lot of time to gather that and then polish it and then de-anonymize it, de-identification kind of process, so that they can give us information that we can use to train our model. Most of the businesses does not have that information retained in the right manner. So probably we are going to work into that direction now. Large language models are reaching to the saturation. They would grow slowly, but the focus would be tools, gathering the data, preparing the data in a way that we can have a RAG, we can have agentic RAG or whatever. But large language itself would be probably not growing too far.
Furkan, it is very interesting to get the answer like that. And I think you destroyed the discussion of AGI.
With LLMs, AGI not possible practically, because if you have seen a kind of different podcasts and Reddit, and so some people are claiming AGI is here. We are already living in AGI era. Some are saying AGI is too far. Some are, AGI probably is, what is the AGI in my opinion? Artificial general intelligence. That means you are speaking to me and you cannot recognize if I am a human or if I am a chat GPT or if I am a large language model. If that is a situation, is called Turing test, right?
Yes.
If I can pass Turing test in this, because with the passage of time, the bars for the Turing test has changed.
Yes.
If I send you an email, you can clearly tell this is an AI written email, right? In these days.
Exactly.
I was reading case study yesterday, specifically from marketing and branding perspective. People started doing very very different type of marketing lately. They started making mistakes intentionally. They started creating entropy and disorder in their marketing campaigns intentionally, because that type of entropy AI cannot produce. AI is so perfect and it would produce to the point as per the branding guidelines, and it would not make any typo, would not make any mistakes. But now people intentionally making mistakes, intentionally creating disorder in their marketing campaigns through colors, through text, through fonts or whatever, so that people can believe there is a human behind the scene, behind this whole marketing campaign. So I'm not saying those marketing companies or marketing campaigns are trying to avoid AI altogether, or not trying to go into AGI era, but they're probably trying to convince humans that we are human. Please trust us and buy from us.
Exactly. So, Furkan, if I am SMB owner, okay, and if I have to basically adopt AI into my business, where should I start from? Either sales, operations, HR,
Right.
finance, or what?
I usually call it low hanging fruit formula.
Okay.
What is that? The area or the component which is taking most human effort or manual effort and is super critical to your business. It can be sales, it can be finance, it can be bookkeeping, it can be maybe backend operations. Probably for a restaurant, uh, most critical element is someone at order taking desk is unable to pass the order into the kitchen. Probably this specific loop is broken for them, and which is causing um, losing the business one way or another, whatever, just for the sake of taking an example, right? Probably this is the most important component. So low hanging fruit says that try to, as a business owner, try to identify the problem statement within your business where exactly you see the most human effort is taken to kind of handle that specific task, or most of the money is going into. It can be sales, of course. uh, I believe most of the people would try to pick sales because they want to increase sales, but for some businesses probably sales is not a problem. You're getting enough customers, but retention is a problem, fulfillment is a problem, probably increasing the customer satisfaction is a problem. So do not rush toward increasing your sales, do not rush towards automating your marketing. Because just because I have seen some videos on Instagram, reels, on probably social media platform, that ABC company automated their sales, they fired $35,000 worth of sales team altogether, and now they're paying $3,000, and now they're getting equal number of leads. Probably that's not your problem. The
Exactly.
problem may be delivery or customer satisfaction or customer retention or engagement with the customers, offering them discounted prices, and I don't know. So try to identify your low hanging fruit that can give you maximum outcome by saving maximum money, maximum effort, and is easy to implement at the same time.
And exactly, and I think here our job is prominent in a way that we have to basically audit the business of the client in a way that sometimes client don't know what their
Problem statement is
exactly,
yeah,
and they don't know that where there exists the real problem.
yeah, where they're losing money,
Exactly.
where they're struggling. So it's similar to that. Probably my car is making noise, for example, and I don't know which exactly what part is making noise. I have to visit mechanic or workshop. And similarly, if I'm get facing a medical unfitness, probably the parent problem, I'm having a severe headache, for example. Probably my head is not hurting. Something different is off in my body. So
Exactly.
for that, I usually in these days people are going to chat gpt, but I prefer going to a medical physician or medical kind of consultant to. So exactly in the same way, in the tech era, by looking some the way you cannot operate kind of mechanic your car just by looking at the manual, the similar way you cannot mechanic your business just by looking at the social media or by chatting with ChatGPT. You need to have a consultant who is pro enough and good enough with multiple use case kind of case studies in their portfolio to reach out to and ask them to audit and examine the business and come up with the right problem statement.
Exactly. Furqan, there is a discussion of AI agents in the market. If you want to explain AI agent to a SMB owner that is non-technical in very simple language.
Right. So usually people confuse large language model LLM with AI agent. LLM is just a brain. For example, if I want to ask a question and get an answer, for example, if I ask how I can get a ticket for from Lahore to Dubai or from New York to Dubai, for example, so an LLM would just give me step by step. Go to booking.com, put the destination Dubai, put the starting point as New York, put your dates and so on and so forth, and you would end up getting some options in the search results, and you can pick the most cheapest option and then book the ticket.
Exactly.
A large language model would give me step by step process probably, but an AI agent would help me getting the ticket booked as well at the same time. But AI agent would use same large language model as a brain, but for a agent would be considered as a brain with hands as well. So if I ask the same thing to an AI agent, I would ask it differently. I would ask AI agent not to tell me how to book it. I would ask him to book it for.
Yes.
For example, I would ask AI agent to book me a ticket from New York to Dubai. So AI agent would go to a large language model, ask how to do it, take the steps, come back and open booking.com in my browser on my behalf, of course, go and enter the destination, dates, whatnot, and pick the most cheapest kind of flight, ask me if I'm comfortable with this flight, and then take my credit card, book it, and then send book my calendar as well, and do whatever is required to do. So
Alright.
AI agent is going to take the action as well along with the information. LLM is just an information.
Okay. Like what I understand is basically an AI agent, we have to just tell him the goal and it will define the steps of the actions itself.
LLM is just going to define the step, and AI agent is going to take care of those steps as well and give you the outcome.
Exactly. So, my final question is that if an SMB owner is watching this podcast,
Right.
what would be your advice that if he will wake up tomorrow, what exactly the first step he must take to hope on the journey to become an AI first company?
It would sound salesy a little bit, but I personally believe all SME owners are aware enough that AI has enough capabilities to automate parts of their business, if not fully. Partially, they can be automated. So, but most of them are lost how to start and where to start and what problem exactly should be the first problem to take up. And if, for example, they are able to figure out that sales is the most critical problem statement on their table, they don't know how to solve it. There are 10 tools in the world, 10 different people on their social media reels talking about 10 different things, and they're lost, they're confused. I'm 200% sure they're lost and confused at this moment. They need a helping hand, they need an expert opinion.
Is
That's exactly where they should probably contact and coordinate someone. They don't need to hire someone full time. Some people are afraid of if I have to pay someone, and there are so many agencies who offer free audit or low cost audit to your business and give you a problem statement along with the roadmap how to step by step solve your problem with the help of AI and automate your business step by step. So probably go contact them, get the audit done, get the roadmap, and then you decide if you have to continue by paying them to solve your problem one by one.
exactly like they have to live by knowing their own problems that they are facing in the business, and
Right.
they must be aware that where their processes can be
Improved.
Okay, thank you so much, Furkan. And in this discussion, it is very interesting for me that the perspective I concluded from this podcast is that AI isn't going to replace the humans, but probably the humans, those will use AI, will replace the other humans that don't use AI.
I believe using AI is not a luxury anymore. It's mandatory.
Okay.
Right.
Like we have to make it as our basic need in
As
the
part of our life, the way food is our part of our life. Dressing up is part of our life. So exactly the same way, utilizing AI in everyday activities. As I mentioned, AI first company. The AI should be the first solution to your every problem.
exactly. And finally, thank you so much, Furkan. And we will meet soon in the next podcast.
No problem. Thank you so very much. Have a good one.